Chosen One!
Welcome to the Chosen One. I'm your host, Qui-Gon Din, and today on Unit 101, we're looking at Princess Leia Charming to the Last. She is a Rebel Warrior, Rebel Alliance spy and warrior tag. She brings us 8 squad points and 3 force points to play with. You know, she's got the 9 hit points with the 3 durability. So where is she going to be played right now? She's one of the stronger primaries in the game, and she's only gotten better with releases. Right off the bat, into the garbage shoot Flyboy. It's a great tactic. At the start of this unit's activation, choose another allied Rebel Alliance or spy unit. Each character in the chosen unit may dash. After all moves resolved, the chosen unit gains hunker. This is really good. Free movement for anyone on your team that's a Rebel Alliance or spy at the beginning of her activation is always strong. It's a wonder you're still alive. This activated ability, choose the character in this unit and an allied character. One character in the chosen unit may heal. After the effect is resolved, the other chosen character may dash. So she can either like heal herself or dash herself and then heal or dash the other chosen character. This is her bread and butter. In combination with her tactic, she is the one Rebel primary that solves a good chunk of the mobility issues for Rebels in terms of rearranging the board. Crackshot. Characters in this unit have Sharpshooter 2. When this character makes a focus action, each character in this unit may dash. This is going to allow her to actually hit pretty hard with her attacks. You combine this with Cassian Andor's Shatterpoint ability, so she can get the Sharpshooter. Turns to Sharpshooter 4, so now you're adding 5 dice to your attack. It's just really good. Her identity. Somebody's got to save our skins. When an enemy character wounds an allied unit after this effect is resolved, one character in this unit may dash towards the enemy character that caused the effect, then may make a 5-die attack targeting that character. Then choose another allied unit within range 3. The chosen character gains a hunker. It's key that you don't want to forget about this. Giving out, it's one of the most missed parts of her identity is giving out that hunker. This is the other part that gets missed a lot. Is additionally, characters in this unit add 1 die to their defense rolls for each wounded ally unit within range 3. These 2 parts of the identity are the most forgotten parts, and if you're wanting to play her at a high level, you need to remember these, because especially the extra defense dice. She is a character that can go down relatively easily. Those extra defense dice will keep her alive. All right, we got our aggressive ambassador side. So this side throws 6 dice at range 5 for a range gun, 5 dice at melee, 5 defense dice at range defense, 4 melee defense. Her defensive training expertise is a block with a heal for 1 to 2. 3 is 2 blocks and a heal. 4 is 2 blocks, a crit to a hit, and a heal. Very good defensive expertise, all in all. You just don't get access to a ton if you're getting hit by melee. Well, we look at her tree, you know, she's doing 2 damage. She can do a lot of damage on the side. And then her expertise on the aggressive end is 1 to 2 is a crit and a hit. 3 is 2 crits. 4 plus is 2 crits and a strain. And then, you know, you got this quick thinking melee expertise. This is her punchy side. This is the side that she wants to fight on if you're trying to actually wound someone. It hits a little bit harder than her other side, but this is the side you generally do not live on. You generally live on Covert Rebel because while it's only 5 attack dice at range, with that range 5 gun, you're still it's gonna be 8 dice essentially. The expertise isn't as good. You know, 1's a crit, 2 to 3's a crit and a hit, and then 4 plus is 2 crits. The thing that this side loves is that you have 2 shoves on 2 on a revenge trigger. That's really powerful. But you also have a reposition on 3, and this is important for if you can score a side point or get somewhere. She can still dish out 7 damage on the side, which is respectable, but she is doing a lot more to your board for support rather than I'm going to try and nuke something off the board. She is doing a lot of recovering. Her defensive expertise on this side is really solid because 1 is 2 blocks, 2 is 2 blocks on a dash, 3 is 2 blocks, a crit and a hit, crit to a hit and a dash. It's very good. The side makes her a lot harder to kill. So where are we gonna play her? There's a few ways to play Princess Leia. You can play her in the Rebel shell, but she's one of the most tag agnostic characters that you can play. She's the best revenge trigger if you just kind of want generic movement for your list as well. She's has no tag synergies that she's relying on. So right off the bat, building her for a Rebel shell is where a lot of people start. And right off the bat, we're gonna go Cassian just because this is, in my opinion, the one of the best pairings in the game at the moment. You know, Cassian's automatically gonna take base and turret. This is a no-brainer at this point. Uh, and when it comes to your secondary slot, it's really flexible. Your support is going to be probably Rebel Commandos, but I'm going to build the list with Pathfinders. Pathfinders get a special shout out here, especially in with Leia. Pathfinders get full advances off of her tactic and then end with a second hunger token on if they haven't moved. So they're very good at scoring. So they are an option. But the Rebel Commandos are still just kind of the go-to Rebels support, and you kind of be wanting to be playing both of them. You can also go around and switch up the list and play K2SO so you can get that additional revenge trigger. And it gets interesting when you do this. You can take the commandos with K2SO, and under this, I would be taking Bodhi Rook. Where's Bodhi? Bodhi Rook and Bazin Turret. The Han Chewie, there is going to be a list that you can still play these guys in that I really like. And what this list looks like is you're getting the access to several revenge triggers. Leia, when she starts getting immunity to expose because she's a spy and she gets steadfast on a point, this package is really strong. K2SO has his own revenge trigger that he can kind of proc and get onto points. And now you can do combinations with Cassian, K2SO, and PLC that, you know, K2SO is going to get a revenge trigger and attack something and shove something off point. And then Princess Leia can shove that thing even further onto a point, or you can start taking multiple points back. There's a lot of play defensively with this list, and Cassian's going to bring your output. This is a very, very standardized list. This list is very popular right now and is one of the top competitive variants in the game. And again, it's going to come down to Cassian, Bazin Turret, Rebel Commandos, plus whatever you want to play. But PLC fixes a lot of the movement tech in this list. And with everything kind of being like a spy when it comes to Bodhi, Rook, Leia, Andor, and K2SO, you just get a lot of extra movement. And it's great. So that's one way to play. But what if you want to play her in a more fun style list? Leia with Cad Bane is really interesting because the more ways that you can move Cad Bane around the board, the better, and you could start really doing a lot of tech. And where this gets really interesting is when you start playing things like you can play IG-88 or you can play more of a movement style. I really like this, and you take Shakti. This is kind of a list that a lot of people kind of started to develop right after the balance pass, and Shakti gets interesting because you can play her with Cad. She moves mercenaries, and moving mercenaries is really powerful because Han and Chewie are still mercenaries, and them being mercenaries means you have direct synergies with Shakti, and Shakti can also move Cad Bane around. Leia can move Cad Bane, and you start to get the makings of a really interesting list. The support where you get interesting here is you can now start playing some extra supports. Right now, you could play bounty hunters, but since we're not playing an IG-88 list and we're just playing a list where I want to be able to play some mercenaries, we are going to look at, if I remember right, the Weequay Pirates have the mercenary tag. They do. They are going to get played with Cad Bane. Again, 3-force list means you're still playing 6-force, but every time you're taking a wound, you are able to start doing things. Now, the other place where we can play is a 3-point secondary, and got a few options. We can play Gwarm, since we're playing Weequay Pirates, and Gwarm is perfectly fine when you actually, his 5-die attack is perfectly reasonable as an option. You look at Gwarm, I have done a Unit 101 on him, you look at his tree, that expertise is really good, even if it is just a, a 5-die attack. 5 dice with that expertise, you need just the shove or something, he's got options. His tactic to move weak ways is really good. His ability to do the healing with his spotcha rations is good. So he is an option. He is not near as bad as people say he is. He is not Grief Karga bad. You also got Luke, who's really strong, and you have Bodhi Rook. Now, in this option, I don't like Bodhi Rook. I actually am leaning on Bosk. So there's a reason why I'm leaning on Bosk here. Bosk hits hard and makes up for some of the lack of punch that a lot of your list has. You need some output. Bosk is perfectly strong in terms of he is just a body that can shoot stuff. And when he gets the wound, he's going to refresh you 2 force, which is still a perfectly good way to play the game. If you want a little bit more out of activation movement, though, you have Mr. Weekways to go with the Weequay Pirates. But this list, you got 2 ways to move Cad Bane out of activation, which means you can position Cad to start adding his 2 damage. Cad Bane is a solid activation. Han and Chewie get really spicy in this list. This is just kind of where you can play PLC in a very fun manner. So yeah, you got PLC with Cad Bane in a scoundrel style list. I've played this list plenty of times. It is very fun. And then you got the Rebel Shell. And the Rebel Shell, she is going to solve a lot of the problems that Cassian has going into it, which is the mobility factor. She's really good. Get a lot of reps with her. Remember her entire identity. She is, in my opinion, probably the 3rd best primary in the game at the moment. Thank you for watching this episode of The Chosen One. If you'd like to watch the next video, you can watch the one in the link above. And if you want to listen to the podcast, you can listen to the playlist below. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you for your support. Please like and subscribe.